Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends here and abroad. Mark here, and today I'm at the beautiful Breakheart Reservation in Saugus, Massachusetts. And basically the content of the video today is going to be basically I'm going to rehash a video I had made previously about whether it's worth it to do gig apps, in my humble opinion. And that's oh, duckies, pair of mallards. Hi, ducks. Sorry, I don't have any bread or crackers or birdseed or anything like that for you, but yeah, so I'd made video about gig apps before. I was driving at the time and at night, so the optics weren't great, but I made the mistake of syncing it up with Hollow the Mountain King, and that composition starts very quietly and slowly and becomes much more up-tempo and loud toward the end of the song. So it was pretty much, you can only hear about half of what I said. So I decided to delete that since I couldn't figure out how to get the music out of there. I figured I'd just start all over again. So the gig apps that I did Turo, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Roadie. And for the most part, the started out doing Turo, and that was I started out with and this is basically going to be a follow-up video to a video I'd made about 6 months ago. Now, basically what started off with Turo. Now, I at the time, the only reason I really wanted to rent a car out was I had just leased my 2024 Nissan Ariya. It's an electric car. I got a killer lease deal on it. At the time, they still had state and federal EV subsidies. So I'm paying like $354 a month, and that includes, all the taxes. It was a zero down lease, and I believe it's 30,000 miles for 3 years. But I have to double check on that. Yeah, I think it's 30,000, so 10,000 a year. Now, at the time, my 2017 Subaru Forester was still, was just basically sitting in my driveway. So I said, let me try to rent that out, and started renting it out immediately. I got people wanting to rent it, and so I said, well, all right, let me try to rent out the electric car too, see if anyone's interested. Well, people started renting that. Well, I needed something to get around, so I started renting out my I actually bought a 98 Mazda pickup truck just because I needed something to get around. And then, it sounded like a great deal. It was only $1,500, but I ended up having to put like almost $5,000 into it to make it roadworthy and reliable. So I then decided to, who had been renting the cars out, I had such good luck. Everybody wanted my Forester, so I had a neighbor that was selling a 2016 Forester, so I bought that, and renting that out for the greater part of a year now to the same couple. And so do I still think Turo is worth it? Now, it can be. For me, there's been quite a few headaches. I got last summer. One of the guests was renting my Black Forester, my 17 Forester, and was a super nice lady. I'm not gonna, I'm not saying this to be derogatory at all. Very, very nice human being, but she accidentally locked the keys in, and I didn't realize at the time I had been paying for the Subaru. I don't know, whatever they call the Subaru equivalent of OnStar. I think it's called like Starlink or something. But so I'd been paying for that, and I guess that year it had lapsed, and they never told me. So and that includes like $150 a year. It includes lockouts. They can unlock it remotely, and so can I, for that matter, because I have the app, or had the app on it. So basically, I didn't realize, I think a credit card had expired. It was on file there, and they didn't bother telling me. So I had to take some time out of work to drive home, grab my spare key, and drive over to Revere to unlock the car. She was stranded in a gas station. And she was super nice. She tipped me like $30, and was all apologetic, and a very, very nice person. But I was just, I was still, there was a headache, and doing that, I get away with it once, but doing it repeatedly could affect my career. So, that was kind of a red flag. I'm like, maybe this isn't such a hot idea. Now a few months later, I had somebody, another really nice, really nice guest. She was an artist. She was traveling in from Chile, and she was taking a course up in Maine. But she'd go back and forth from like Maine and New York all the time, and so she rented it for a few months, and so. Yeah, I guess in Chile and all the places she'd traveled to and rented cars, they didn't integrate the gas and diesel pumps. They were different. They were both freestanding pumps. And so anyway, you can see where this story's going. She accidentally put diesel in the gas tank, and then that was a huge hassle. I ended up... because I work for AAA, so I ended up trying to get it, trying to get it towed. I've got the AAA, premium or whatever it is, whatever they call our premier, I guess they call the highest membership, so I get it free from through work. But she was up in Maine, so like 4 hours away, and so I called the first lady, I called up, just the, or whatever it is, the regular line, and the super nice lady, said, oh, yeah, it's no problem. We can get it towed for you. And I called up I got a call from and I explained, I said, I'm not here, is it okay? And they said, oh, yeah, it's fine. As long as the registration's in there, it's fine. So then I call up, I got a call from the tow company because they contract to a different through a tow company, and the tow driver called me, and he specifically told me, yeah, that's fine. As I explained I wasn't going to be there, and he said, oh yeah, that's fine as long as the registration's there. Then I got a call from some smart ass dispatcher. Now bear in mind, this is AAA of Northern New England. I work for AAA Northeast, so it's a different franchise, but some smart-ass dispatcher called me, and he was a real douche. He basically I explained the situation to him, and he said, yeah, well, we can help you, but I'm not going to. And I'm like, dude, what the, I'm trying to keep my composure, and, it takes a lot for me to really, I'm not that emotional of a person. I can kind of, I try to keep a clear head, but, I was getting pissed, and, I wanted to reach to the phone and strangle the son of a bitch, but, anyway, long story short, this this poor renter I had to cough up, $200 to have it towed. I think it was 200 to have it towed to the nearest Subaru dealer, which was like, an hour plus away, and then pay another like 300 something to get the system flushed. So that was just such a, and I was on the phone trying to fight those assholes all, for half of my day, and luckily it was a day off, but I was just I got to the point where I gave up after that, and I deleted the cars off and just said, I made a little bit of money here and there, but it just wasn't worth the headaches. And so then I sold the Black Forester in January, and probably next month when I get my Gray Forester back, I might hang on to it for a few months, because if I go to Fanimation this year, that would be the vehicle of choice that I would bring, but I'll probably sell that sooner or later. And now, as far as the other gig apps I've been doing, DoorDash is all right. I made a little bit of money here and there from the electric car. I can actually make some money doing it. In the Forester, I make even less because, I've delivered it in both of the Foresters, and that's, they get like, especially driving around town, like 20-ish miles to the gallon, not great. On the highway, closer to 30, but in the truck, the truck's only a 4-cylinder, it's rear-wheel drive, so in theory it should get pretty good gas mileage, but the catalytic converter's been stolen, so gas mileage is mediocre at best. I might get like around town maybe 13 miles to the gallon, and so I just decided to just not do that anymore, because it just wasn't worth my time. I was averaging somewhere in the area of like $8 to $10 an hour, so when you factor in the gas, so it's more than I'd make on my days off just sitting around the house. But I'm at the point now in my life, hell, I'm 42 years old, I'm not getting any younger, I've got some medical issues and stuff, so hey, maybe there's a good chance the road ahead is shorter than the road behind. So I want to make the most out of each day, and doing things like this, walking around in a nice, natural setting, and really enjoying my days off. And rather than, having to work on my days off, especially for $8 to $10 an hour, it just wasn't worth my time. So, Uber Eats was fine. I got a lot more calls with them, but they seem to be just, the algorithm there seems to be just AI bots throwing darts at a proverbial map. And, they were trying to send me from I remember the first one I got, I didn't take it, but I saw that, and it said, I was in Wakefield, and they said, oh, it's pick up something in Lexington and drive it out to Haverhill, and it was going to be like $17. I'm like, and it was right at like 5 o'clock at night. I'm like, so wait a minute, it's that is going to take me probably the greater part of an hour, if not more than an hour, that time of day to get from Wakefield to Lexington, and then probably at least 2 hours to get to Haverhill. I was like, that's $17. Yeah, that's not worth my time or gas or wear and tear on my car. So, I did DoorDash and Uber Eats. I'd usually have them both on simultaneously. Roadie, that was an interesting one. It's a great blue heron. Look at that. Anyway, he's looking at me. He's probably gonna fly away pretty soon. But Roadie was interesting. That was sort of like a delivery service. They did like medicine and stuff. So you go to CVS and pick up stuff. I never did any of that. But the only time I used them was picking up. It was a Home Depot run. Turned out to be pretty good. Not awful anyway. pick up some stuff at Home Depot and then do like 3 different deliveries with it. There's the heron. So, I actually, I kind of enjoyed it. But the only downside about Roadie is you have to bid on, what you want. So you'd bid, and it would take, sometimes quite a while for them to get back at you. So you're just sitting there waiting to hear back if they, if you're the person they chose to, duckies. And, so if you're the person they chose to, to do that, you're the best candidate. I've waited for like 45 minutes once, and then finally just gave up. Never heard back from them. I think the one that I took, I think I had to wait like 15 minutes or something, but it just wasn't worth my, it just wasn't worth my time. So I decided to, put them on the back burner. Now, one thing that I'd be remiss if I didn't point out was insurance. I think DoorDash at least will pay the insurance if you have a, if you get involved in an accident, they'll pay the damage to the, to the other vehicle, but not to the driver. So you're screwed, and then for your insurance company, if they find out you were doing DoorDash or doing, a gig app, you need a commercial policy, otherwise they can avoid coverage. So it's a huge liability. It can be incredibly detrimental. And considering that, yes, I'm leasing my car, but, I think the sticker price for it was something like $44,000. So I'd be out whatever the vehicle's worth now, which is still a pretty high price. So I, if I'm in the Nissan, and it just wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth my time. Wasn't worth it. So I don't do any of that stuff anymore. And Turo, they have their own insurance, but and I'm paying like 25% of my earnings are going to insurance. However, even with that, from what I understand, if the regular insurance company, because you have to have regular insurance as well, if they decide not to, if you don't inform them that you have a, if you're doing commercial things with regular insurance, they can cancel the insurance on all your vehicles. Now, that could be, major liability. And good morning. And so that's why one of the main reasons that, I decided to cancel, that particular, particular avenue of, of revenue for me. Now, so I'm just at the point now where I just want to focus on my career, doing the best I can with that. And, I just got a, not a promotion, but I got a decent raise and some bonuses and stuff. So in the beginning of March. So I decided to, I'm just going to focus on that, on my actual career where I make the majority of my money. And especially in the winter time, there's so much overtime to be had that, I can, I can make some really good money in the winter. And, with tips and, the battery commissions when I install batteries. And yeah, this is, check out this hill behind me. But, so do I still think it's worth it? Probably not. I'm just going to take the Saugus River Trail because I don't feel like climbing that hill and talking simultaneously. I think I'll find myself out of breath very fast. So, yeah, it's not really, I found it wasn't really worth it. So I just decided to, I think I still have the apps on my phone just in case I ever get, fall into financial dire straits and decide to, just risk it and start doing that again. But, right now, fortunately, I'm not at that point. Although my stocks have dropped exponentially over the last few weeks since this idiotic war in Iran. But, oh well, what are you going to do about that? Not much I can do about that. I do still have, I've got savings and I still am getting, I still have my job and everything. So, if I ever do end up falling into the hard times and have to go back to doing gig apps, I will. As of now, you can make some decent money, especially on Turo, because it's, semi-passive income, but you still might, you could find yourself, it's a huge risk, basically. So, it's nice. Like right now, the only vehicle I still have listed is my 16 Forester, my gray one, and the only reason I haven't canceled that is because the couple that's renting it, it's a couple from Spain, and the guy's getting his master's degree here in Boston, and because originally they'd rented it from, I believe it was June of last year up until December of last year, and then they asked to, continue renting it from time, sort of like a month-to-month type thing. So I they use it every day, so I let them. I'm not gonna pull the carpet out from under them. I figure they, and I'm getting like $114 a week or something like that from them. But it's probably gonna end up selling the car, and once I get it back, and assuming they give it back to me in April, I get it back in April, and probably hang on to it for a few months and then sell it, sometime at the end of the summer, because I want to be able to, it's a beautiful day. It's the end of March right now. Spring. It's technically the start of spring, so I'm gonna be, I'd like to drive around, do some hiking and camping and stuff once the weather improves, and for long distances, the Forester's the good choice because the EV. It's nice, as a commuting vehicle. I have like a 13-mile round-trip commute, so it's perfect. And it can, as of now, they're letting me charge it for free at work on the charge point. Come, for long trips, well, I could use the truck, I suppose, but it gets such paltry fuel economy, and it's it's 27 years old, so. The Forester would definitely be the vehicle of choice. So I'm probably going to hang on to that for a while, and then I might sell it toward the end of the summer. But, as far as, the gig apps, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and all that, it has its place. I was able to make a little bit of extra money doing that, which was fine, but also you have to be careful it doesn't kick you into the next tax bracket. So you may end up losing money if it does. So, because remember, you're an independent contractor, so all the taxes are paid for by you. Which brings it down, instead of getting like I had estimated $8 to $10 an hour. That's before taxes. That's mallards. Yeah, that might be closer to quack. That might be closer to like, $5 an hour after all the taxes are taken out. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you are in doing any kind of gig apps, I wish you the best of luck. I certainly didn't mean to. I hope this doesn't inadvertently scare people away from doing them, but I just wanted to be as honest and forthright as I could about what the process entails, and the pros and cons. So anyway, stay tuned for more videos. Good night and good luck. Always be kind.